I'm sorry, let's go on. All right, prop up your legs. Okay, now a couple of points before I get started. I'm going to fix this. Okay. This thing right here makes it a little difficult to get the right angle for your transfer. Ideally, what angle should your transfers be at? The wheelchair. Yeah, about 45 to 90 degrees. Okay? We're going to do our best. Now, sometimes there are some issues with the environment that make it challenging to do the correct angle. The main thing I want to see is that when you set up the wheelchair, that it's as close as possible to the tub transfer bench. Okay? We really want to minimize a gap for obvious safety reasons. Okay, but it would. So what I don't want to see, if you want to go from there.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to move over here, it might be easier to see. What I do not want to see is someone parking the chair like this, and there's a huge space there. Okay. So what you're going to need to do, I didn't lock the brakes yet. I'm removing the leg rest because it swings to the side and it gets in the way. When I get the wheelchair nice and close, I won't be able to. Okay. So I'm trying my best to get her chair at about a 45-degree angle to the seat. Locking the brakes.
I can I can't see anything.
Okay, so it's not until I have the chair set up that I'm actually going to swing back the armrest. That was another thing that came up previously is people took the leg rest and the armrest off before setting up the chair, okay? We're imagining that you have a spinal cord injury, maybe some poor trunk control. We don't want the patient slumping right out of the chair, okay? All right, so I have this as close as I can get it. Brakes are locked. Now I'm going to swing back the armrest. Actually not. I don't have my transfer board. Okay. So this transfer board, who knows where it needs to be placed under the patient?
Under her thigh, buttocks.
Right. Yeah, so kind of half and half. If you place it too far back, when the patient leans forward, it's going to slide behind them and it's not going to support them at all. So it's actually better to keep it closer to the thigh so that they can lean anteriorly when they weight shift and still have support. Again, remember we don't have a cushion on this chair. All right, so what I'm going to ask you to do first, I have my hands on her because I just removed her armrest. All right, I'm going to ask you to lean forward. My head is in the direction of where she's going. I'm just going to shift you forward in the chair. I'm going to count to 3 and rock with you. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay, my knees are around her knees.
Am I pushing anywhere or no, because I can't?
I'm going to show you where to push. Okay. Now I'm going to place the transfer board underneath her. She can have enough trunk support to hold herself up on this arm. Otherwise, I'd be holding her here. Okay. All right. Now I have it under her thigh and under her bottom, bridging up onto the seat. Okay. It's a bit of an incline. Again, not ideal. Ideally, you'd be doing a downhill, but we never can tell how high the tub's going to be. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to ask you to do is place a flat hand on here and a hand here. I love your nails. Thank you. A lot of patients want to hold on to the transfer bench, the transfer board, and they can squish their fingers when they shift over. So make sure your patient has a flat hand. All right, you're going to lean into me. I'm holding on to her hips right now. Okay, ready? We're going to count to 3 and then scoot over. Ready? 1, 2, Now I'm staying extremely close, shifting her feet and shifting my feet around hers. These face masks are terrible with this transfer. Okay, she can decide where she's comfortable keeping her hand. You can hold on here if you want. And here, she can put her hand here or on the seat. Okay, I moved her feet. We're gonna do another bump. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Good. Now, I'm gonna remove this. Okay, I'm still holding her. I don't want her legs to fly out from underneath her. So I'm supporting her with 2 hands and 2 legs. All right, are you ready to try to get 1 foot into the tub? Okay, now I can actually step in with her and lift this leg. Good. Now I'm gonna have you scoot over. I'm gonna count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now she's good, and I keep my hands on her, okay? Any questions?
So you kind of grabbed onto her hips, and Lori taught us to grab underneath the butt. Do you have a preference which one we do?
I don't. That's just my personal way that I do it. You can do either.
Okay.
Yeah. So she probably taught you to grasp under the ITs.
Yeah.
You can totally do that.
Okay.
Yep. Sometimes I find that it's hard to get fully underneath, and that if I have ability to do that, I'll grasp the clothing in the hips or the hips themselves. But it does vary.
Okay.
Sometimes it's hard, like, depending on the patient and their composition in relation to your body composition, what you can actually reach, you know? But that's a good point. Okay, so when you come out, it's the opposite process. You have to set up the transfer board again. You can bring her legs out first, set up the transfer board, and then transfer back into the chair. Okay? So we sort of think, I'm gonna let go of you now.
That's fine.
We're gonna think of this transfer as like a mod assist transfer. The other ones are closer to like a mid assist transfer. Okay? So you helped me, which I appreciate. Some patients might not be able to help. Okay? Any questions? No? Okay. All right, thank you.